So GSTR 1 is the return which you are supposed to file. Okay, and what is the last date of filing GSTR 1? 13th no, it's 11th or 13th. I mean, if you are filing, a monthly return, it has to be filed on 11th. If you are a quarterly guy, then you file on 13th. Okay, so you give, whatever you have sold during the month to whomsoever you have sold, whether it is, with GST tax or not. Mr. Sikka, you have to be in time. So what is the, Ashwin, which is the first return which a person has to file? What is that return called? If you don't answer, I'll deduct your 2 marks from your quiz. GSTR? 1. Okay. But I'm not going to give you marks for that. But I'm going to deduct if you're not able to answer. Okay. So the return which a person is supposed to file, the first return is called GSTR 1. And the last date for the return is 11th. For all the business houses which are having a turnover more than 5 crores. But if your turnover is less than 5 crores, then the date is 13th. And you can always choose a quarterly return. It is at your discretion that you can file a quarterly return instead of a monthly return. Okay? So that is the number 1 return, GSTR. Now, the whole thing is very simple nowadays. People used to always crib that GSTR is very complicated law. It carries so many tax slabs and it has so much of data to be filed. But it's all bogus. Fine. It's very simple and very straightforward law. And though we have multiple kind of, rates, we can't have just one rate like we may have, say, in some UK or USA. But when I checked with the other countries like UK, USA, they have multiple rates. Of course, in India, we have to charge different rates for different items because in India, there is a disparity of income. So we can't tax everything at the same rate. Even if, the people who are today in the opposition, they come to power, they can't have one. They can't make it just 1 or 2 rates. It has to be a little bit spread over. Okay? And the returns are now just, there are a couple of returns which a person needs to file. Just 2 returns if you look at GSTR 1 and GSTR 3B. Okay? These are the 2 returns only which, a business house has to file. Okay? And of course, there is GSTR 9, which is a yearly return. And only people who are doing turnover more than 5 crores, they are supposed to file that. So all small businesses which used to crib that it's a complicated law, they have to file only 2 returns. And everything is auto-populated. And most of the returns, except the GSTR 1, where you have to enter everything. And now the things have become very simple. You can just, upload the data simply. Whatever invoices you have raised, you can just upload on the GST portal. So you don't have to manually feed that. You can even enter the transactions through your mobile. Okay? So, so that is called GSTR 1. GSTR 3B is your final return when you pay your taxes. And what is the last date for the return? 20th, when we talk about the people who are having a turnover more than 5 crores. Otherwise, it goes to 22nd or 24th if you are taking a quarterly return. Okay? So the small guys, they have to file only on quarterly basis, not even on a monthly basis. And even the GST 9 is exempt. Fine. So it's a very simple law. And it has, if you look at the past history, there were so many laws, so many taxes, so it's all gone. Some taxes still remain. It is just because the central governments don't want that. Okay? Because they don't want to lose revenue. Like, the diesel, petrol, they are still out of the GST. Once they are, then become a very simple life for everyone. Okay? So it's complicated because of all the states, they don't want to lose power of taxing people on diesel and petrol and alcohol. Okay? So because of that, the laws remains a little bit complicated. If we have, everything coming under GST, it will become further simplified. Okay? And it has replaced many laws. Okay? And previously, earlier before the GST came, I was handling all the laws when I was working with a company. And I was handling almost like, long back I was handling cases worth about 50 crores from my company. Okay. And every third day I was traveling. Sometime I was going to the Commissioner of Central Excise at the Mumbai office or Bhopal office, Indore office, Delhi office. Sometime I was traveling to sales tax office, sometime income tax office, sometime all the other authorities like, okay. And because there was different laws, of course, income tax still remains a separate law, but we used to have excise, sales tax, VAT, everything different. So, and there was a lot of hassle, meeting out. There are a lot of complexities in the law. So all has gone now. It's become a very simple law. So, and then, what we did was, we talked about the GST